Two useful tools available in Photoshop Elements are the paint bucket and the eraser. The paint bucket is used to fill an area with a new color or pattern, while the eraser creates transparent pixels in an image. You have two photos you'd like to modify. First, you have a photo of a pair of dice, and you need to change the color of the pips from red to black. Then, you need to remove some background from another photo. We have this image of a pair of dice, but we'd like to change the pips from red to black. The easiest way is to use a fill, and that's where the paint bucket tool comes in handy. To get started, we'll need to click it. Its icon is a paint bucket tipping over and spilling paint. Now let's choose the color we want. We're going to choose a black foreground in the color picker, which is the top of the two overlapping squares of color. The color picker lets us choose a color numerically or by using the eyedropper tool. We can numerically define the color by using one of three color models: HSB, hue, saturation, brightness; RGB, red, green, blue; or hexadecimal color value. We're going to use the hexadecimal model, which is how colors are defined on the web. We'll need to select the number in the number text box to define it. We'll choose black. In the hexadecimal color model, black corresponds to 6 zeros. There are 7 options for the paint bucket tool: pattern, mode, opacity, tolerance, anti-alias, contiguous, and all layers. The paint bucket modifies all of the pixels in an area that match the color value of those we click. Tolerance provides flexibility by allowing the color value to vary. A low number will only replace pixels that have very similar color to the one we click, while a higher tolerance will allow more variation in colors that get replaced. Let's set our tolerance now. We'll choose 150 because our red pip has variations, and there is a defined border where the white part of the die begins, so we know it will stop there. Let's change the color of the pip on the side of the die that shows 1. When we clicked on the red pip, the entire area filled with black, making a dramatic impact on the image. Let's also change the rest of the pips. They don't have quite as much definition to their edges, so let's reduce the tolerance to 35. Now that the tolerance is lowered, we should be able to click the rest of the red areas in the pips and change them to black. Click Next, and we'll make those changes for you. Now that we've learned to fill an area with a different color, let's see how to remove color altogether. The Eraser tool, which looks like a pink school eraser, removes color from an image, creating transparent pixels. If the layer you're working in has locked transparency, or if you're working on the background layer, the pixels will change to the background color instead. First, let's change to another photo. Click Next, and we'll do that for you. This image has a background we want to erase. There are 2 special kinds of erasers that can be accessed by right-clicking the Eraser tool in the Editor toolbox. Let's see what they are. The magic eraser chooses similar pixels and erases them, while the background eraser maintains edges between the foreground and background, only erasing the background. We want to remove the area above the people's heads, so let's choose the background eraser tool. The background eraser has 3 options we need to set: brush, contiguous, and tolerance. We'll start by changing the brush size. To do that, we need to open the brush picker. The background eraser tool has a small cross in the center, marking the hotspot surrounded by a circle. The background eraser will paint transparent pixels over any pixels that closely match the pixel color under a hotspot and within the circle. Let's click in the diameter box so we can set a new size for the background eraser. The background eraser requires careful use. Try to choose the largest brush your photo can accommodate to give the most consistent results. A brush size of 150 pixels works well for this photo, because it will cover the entire height of the background area we want to erase. Let's close this picker so we can make some more changes. Tolerance works similarly for the eraser and paint bucket tools. Raising the tolerance allows the pixel colors to vary more widely. So let's change this tolerance to 20 to make sure we account for the shadows. By dragging the background eraser across the walls and ceiling, we'll paint transparent pixels. Click Next and we'll do it for you. That did a great job of removing the background. Now a new background could be added to this image, and they would work well together. Now that you know how to use the paint bucket to fill an area with color, and the eraser tool to remove color, you're well on your way to being able to make personalized and even composite images.